know a cheer.
What was that?
I don't know if I used to know a cheer.
You used to do cheer?
No, not really. But
I'm patiently waiting to make a little comment. I kind of want to interject. Don't want to be rude. You know, they having a conversation amongst themselves. But I've been waiting for about five minutes. And while they're conversating back and forth, Sakura mentions coffee as far as the taste of it and what she don't like. And I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. I'm smoking a cigarette right now. And coffee will make the cigarette taste better. Plus, it's a little burst of energy, although I got to get up early, but I figure I would be all right. Now, the comment that I want to make, I kind of just want to say it. And the reason I'm pressing record because it's just another thought in my head. It's probably a thought, really, but situation just sparked that thought, so I figured right now is a good opportunity to speak on it. You know, I'm feeling like I'm in it. You know, it's all kilter right now. So, let me say something real quick because I'm recording. It's going to be real quick.
Go in the bathroom.
It's about the ashtray.
About the ashtray.
She asked, where's the ashtray at, right? And I had already just placed it on the table. But she was concerned with other variables at the moment. In other words, she was talking to somebody else at the time. She seen me put the ashtray on the table. I'm pretty sure her mind took note of it. And probably a portion of small degree of conscious intake involved as well, not just unconscious and etc. But she took that into account. But because she was dealing with the other variables, and it's not really necessarily like a lack of an ability, just something that's not etched in her awareness at the time and in general. So my point is, there was a question that somebody posed on Facebook when I was in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was really like a video. Someone else reposted the video. It was interesting because the lady asked her to spell eyes. She was like, spell eyes. No, she said, what was it? How do you spell? Something about eyes, spell eyes, or how you spell it, and you got to say it as E-Y-E-S. Anyway, it was like one of those type of questions to where, like, I equated it to like a slickster, for a better way of putting it, like how you a pickpocketer, somebody that know how to pickpocket. So you want to have like two people involved. As you're walking past the subject, you have one person slightly bump the subject, not even slightly, but just bump the subject. Instantaneously, while the subject is being bumped, the other individual slips the money or wallet out of that person's pocket. The person doesn't notice it because in the moment they got bumped, so their conscious attention was instantly drawn towards something else.
What y'all doing?
So the sensation of somebody rubbing against your body or your back pocket was overshadowed by the bump itself. So there was a lack of conscious attention in the moment. So the question that I came across on Facebook years back, I got it right. But I thought it was a good question. It took a couple of seconds, but I got it right, but I thought it was a good question. So I was thinking about like the logic of it. And I'm like, okay, that's the same as like somebody that pickpockets people. So in this live instance that just took place over 5 minutes ago, concerning the ashtray, she seen me put the ashtray on the table.
No, I did not.
But the variables, the things that was going on around her, caused that to become really significant, and then get put into the category of obsoleteness, basically. It became something that's not important to the point where it's no longer even considered. So she forgot about it. So I'm sitting on the couch, I'm laying on the couch. Moments after that, she goes, Johnny, I'm using an ashtray. Now, I was also smoking a cigarette, which is a short now. I got like this Camel menthol pack in front of me. I got a burp. Got this Camel menthol pack in front of me. Because she asked for the ashtray already, I had placed it on the table. So I'm using this pack to ash out in as well. That was like another variable that was considered in her head, but not something that was zoomed in on. But it's insignificant, but it's still considered or informs her question to an extent. As far as Johnny, I thought I told you to put the ashtray on the table. I wanted the ashtray. You see that intricate happening going on there? Now, taking it further in my mind, I believe, and it's not a belief, I am 100% sure that there is a technique that goes on and is both intentional and in some cases unintentional, to where you can cause a person to forget information. If such a technique persists for a period, then they can slowly forget information even more, especially if one is not the subject itself. It's not sufficiently aware of it or even aware at all. You know what I'm saying? Case in point, you know, the Rendlesham Forest incident that took place in the British Isles, I think England, for example, a while back, about this whole orb sighting, but some people call it a UFO sighting, unidentified flying object, and it took place in the forest. And I think that's a good example because it's empirical, or the closest that you could get to empirical evidence. And the incident, not the entire incident, but portions of it, because it happened or took place over a certain amount of days. So one of the times that it took place, it was recorded, and the audio is pretty long, 40+ minutes. All right, and it's not actors, military personnel of different rankings that witnessed this sighting. But later on, after the incident, they claimed that some OSI office or personnel came into their base and interviewed some of the people that were involved. And one of the witnesses claimed that after this little interrogation process, he seemed to appear to have forgotten a lot of what was told, even though he was threatened to keep his mouth closed about that. I personally believe that this technique of causing one to forget information took place there as well during the interrogation process, but the guy probably wasn't aware of it, because even if he knew something of the technique, which he didn't, but realistically speaking, throw a little hypothetical in there for comprehension purposes, even if the guy knew something of this technique as far as the reality of it, if he don't know the mechanisms, he will be looking for something obvious. You know what I mean? But it's subtle things that go on that you have to catch. So that example fits into the mode as well. What today is? June what?
16th.
It's June 16th. It's 8:54. I got way more to say on that than just that, because, you know, this is like a little observation analysis that I made a while back. But, you know, I feel like, you know, some relevancies took place today, or one at least, the ashtray incident, for example, which is compiled amongst other examples in my head, more recent, that I felt like I'll go ahead and partially speak on. So that's all I want to document. You can close it out. What's the date one more time? June what?
16th.
And what time is it, Shirley Fraction?
I don't know. I ain't looking.
8:55 now. All right. I may unveil this for content purposes because, like I said, it's just a little small thing I speak on. It's documentation as well. All right. It's your boy Johnny Fraction, JL at Dark Poetry 34. Have a good night.